Hey everybody, it is Sarah Pai Kai here with Jennifer Kem answering the questions that you all have submitted about having a unicorn team. Now, if you are like, I didn't submit a question, I don't know what unicorn team is, don't worry, you're going to hear about it often. And in fact, there's going to be a whole playlist that you'll be able to access to watch all of the videos. We're going to be tackling a lot of questions, but basically we're going to be diving into what makes a team be amazingly awesome, epic, revenue generating, values driven, ownership accountable, all those yummy things. That's what we mean when we say unicorn team. We're excited for this conversation.
Mega excited that we can finally clear it. Yeah, it's going to clear up so many questions.
Many things.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So the first question, unicorn team, we use this phrase often, but really what is this mythical team and this concept?
Well, what's funny is I think it's a play on what I think is a big problem for entrepreneurs, which is they're trying to find one unicorn that can do all the things.
Yes.
You know, they want to hire Swiss Army knives,
Yes.
right? And actually, it's 3 roles that we've identified that have unicorn-like qualities that actually bring and scale the brand. So in terms of unicorn team itself, it's our scale your brand method. It's how we've been able to do that, and why I chose unicorn is because, you know, every founder, even if you are in a services-based business, maybe you're selling courses, or you're actually trying to do a startup in the technology space, everyone's dream is to work with unicorns and be a unicorn, which is a high valuation company. And so when I started putting together the method, I was like, this is what we want, so this is what we should call it. So that's what it is.
I love that. And I like that you're talking about like spreading it out across 3 roles that we'll get into, if not in this video, then in the next one or a couple videos down here. Make sure you check out the whole playlist. I'm going to keep plugging that. Because I think so many times business owners think, oh, I need to find someone who's like a literal clone of myself, plus they're good at all the things that I can't do.
Oh, totally. And that's where
so much pressure.
It's pressure. It's a fantasy.
Yes.
It's not real. And the moment you accept that that's not real, the faster you can scale.
I love that.
But the reason and what's getting in the way is our leadership, and we're going to talk about that too. And also choosing who is part of the unicorn team and getting good at that and making that a high priority in your business.
Yeah.
So what I want to do is, even though it's mythical, the unicorn, what's real is that this is a method that works. And it solves so many problems in the business and gives the leader so much space.
Yes, that part.
And
the team, a lot of autonomy and control as
autonomy, control, confidence.
Yes.
To make good decisions
Clarity.
on behalf of the company.
Correct.
And anytime we're dealing with humans, right? We know humans are hard. We're hard. We're incorrigible. We're so difficult.
We make things so difficult.
We make things so hard. And so this method helps to sort. And I know you love that because she's a puzzle. She loves puzzles.
I do.
And it helps sort where things really should go and creates accountability, which I'm super excited to dive deeper into when we get through this whole series.
Love it. Okay. So someone asked, can you give us some examples of a unicorn team? For example, who are some of the well-known unicorn teams in business and entrepreneurship? Can you think of examples to share?
So one thing that makes us different at Master Brand Institute and our campus is that I spent over 15 years in the corporate world as a strategy and marketing executive, and then started my own companies. And one of the ways that I've been able to scale so fast is from adopting the principles I learned in corporate and adapting them to the speed that entrepreneurship needs. And so when I give you these examples, I want to show you what's possible, and start to run your business like a real freaking business, because that's what these unicorn teams I'm going to talk about in a moment. Because you might go, oh, I don't know how that company relates to me.
That part, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's not that you're the next Tesla, perhaps. You're not maybe wanting to build the next Tesla or be like Elon Musk, whatever. But he has a unicorn team behind him. And that's how he's been able to start Tesla with no money, start SpaceX and get his vision realized, buy Twitter, whatever the controversy is around that. The ability to scale and acquire like that requires a team behind the scenes that you don't see, right? And so we want to make sure that you understand that. So I use that as an example. But one example I really love that's more recent at the time of this recording is Moderna. Okay. So most of us experienced, there was a pandemic from 2020 to 2022 and after, but really those were the hot years, right, of the pandemic, the COVID-19 pandemic. And what a lot of people know, whatever you feel about vaccinations, that's not the point here. Okay, the point is that what was in the news was encouraging everybody to get vaccinated. And there were 3 companies that came to market first: Pfizer, Moderna, and Johnson & Johnson. All 3 are big companies, but did you know that Moderna was not a retail pharmaceutical company at the time of COVID? Meaning, they didn't sell pharmaceuticals. They did the research for Pfizer. They did the research for Johnson & Johnson, okay? And what happened was, when they were doing the research, because everybody was on board to try to solve this problem, because obviously it's like one of the worst things that's happened to us as a society in the modern age, the head of HR at Moderna said, what if we got in the game? Because they figured out, like, the more of us that can provide this life-saving vaccination, because Pfizer can't keep up with the demand, right? Johnson & Johnson couldn't keep up with the demand. What if we got in the game? And her executive team thought she was cray-cray. They were like, no, there's just no way we can do that. And how are we going to do that? How are we going to bring a vaccination to a market when we've never sold retail before? And she said, I feel like our people, when given the mission and understand their roles in the mission, that we can make this happen. Not only that, they got Dolly Parton, to invest in that initiative, and other celebrity types, wealthy people. They were able to fundraise. They were able to get their team in order and create autonomous, innovative ways to actually test the vaccine so they could get to market at the same speed as Pfizer. And lo and behold, Moderna was able to provide the vaccine to the mainstream. Maybe if you're watching, you got the Moderna vaccine, right? Did you get the Moderna vaccine?
No, that was mine.
Okay. I didn't get to get it. But what I was point is, based on this question, is they were a small research facility. And maybe your perception of Moderna was they're just as big as Pfizer, or they're just as big as Johnson & Johnson. But actually, they were a scrappy, research, nerdy facility who figured out that they could tap into their innovation and structure their go-to-market of this product in a way that got the best out of them, that reached into the untapped talent inside of their company and brought it forward. And what I'm telling you is, they're not special, okay? It doesn't matter if you're running a team of 1 and you're having like your part-time high school daughter helping you, like I was when I first started out. I ran my daughter like a unicorn team back then, 10 years ago. I didn't call it that back then, but I was using some of the same principles from corporate to be able to move fast and smart to do what I wanted to do. So I think Moderna is a great case study for showing that it's possible. And frankly, if you're a woman watching, guess who led that initiative and made it happen and convinced a bunch of white guys in the boardroom that they could do it and not look stupid. And because she trusted her people, when I say trust, not blindly trusted, she created a structure like a unicorn team structure and deployed them and got them to commit to their best. So it's a really exciting story.
I think it ties back to the first question around the mythical, why unicorn, why this idea is a lot of times, especially in small business, we want things that are this mythical, magical epitome of all the things that could go right? Like you want a business that's values driven, you want a team you can trust, you want to take time off, you want to make a lot of impact, you want to be wealthy, you want to do all of these things. And for all of those variables to come together in a small company, it is a unicorn. It is a bit of magic that's happening.
There is a bit of magic.
And that there's a team that is doing it. It's not just like, because I was just as magnanimous or charismatic as somebody I saw on social, it's just going to happen for me. That it removes all of that fantasy that I think sometimes social media and keeping up with the Joneses can kind of get you in your head about.
Yeah, and I want to say one more thing to that is that installing or adopting a unicorn team model into your own business, whatever size it is, will allow you to not get caught up in all of what Sarah just said, and it's so important because it will make you stop hiring entrepreneurs. Okay, you don't want to hire entrepreneurs for your team. You want to cultivate intrapreneurs, people who actually want autonomy, they want freedom, they want to get paid well, but they hate sales and marketing and would prefer to hitch their caboose to your bullet train.
Yes.
But how do you keep those people motivated so that they can see and feel not just capable, but that their contribution matters and it's being recognized?
That. I think that's so important because I think sometimes, especially in our industry, the internet makes entrepreneurs so glorified, and like that it's
the
not
romancing of the entrepreneur.
Like it's not sexy or necessary to be an entrepreneur. Like you're an entrepreneur only because you're not good enough to be an entrepreneur.
That part. That's
like,
a whole
so
series right there.
Oh my gosh, yes, for sure. Come back with your questions. Leave them in the comments because we'll come back to that entrepreneur conversation. But I think it's great that the unicorn team is a model that helps give them purpose to see where they fit in. And that, well, we'll get into this in the next video too, but how all of the parties they have equal say and accountability and ownership in the work.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. It's juicy when it's done well. Yeah.
It is. Okay.
It's not perfect, but it's juicy.
Last question for this video. What are common mistakes visionizers, aka CEOs, make when they're building their team?
Well, first of all, let's talk about myths. A bona fide myth is that you should delegate everything.
Oh, I hate that one.
Right?
No.
That is not a real thing.
No.
In fact, that's one of the things that's going to bury you real quick. It's going to cut at your confidence. It's going to make you think that you're not a good leader. And maybe all of us can improve in our leadership forever, right? Because leadership is about personal development, really. But when I hear stuff like, oh, delegate everything so that you can be free to be creative or have a vision, that's cute. Like, I'm like, that's not real. Because honestly, it's the first, you will start to traumatize yourself by doing that. You will have hiring trauma. You will have breakdown trauma because you delegated something that was not ready to be delegated, possibly to the person you didn't need next in your business. And the unicorn team concept is about identifying what you actually need based on your desires, goals, and your values, and then rallying a few good people who want the same thing as you, and then you adapt it over time. So this myth about delegating everything so that you can have everything is actually a dangerous piece of advice, and the unicorn team solves it.
I agree with that. Love it. All right, Kate, rapid fire lightning round. We were literally getting prepared for the questions and going through all these things, and I was like, it'd be really fun. Let's do a lightning round. All right, so I'm going to ask the same questions again, but you only get one phrase or sentence, and we may edit this whole part out.
We might.
Get ready?
We might.
Okay, question number 1.
I'm about to get savage, y'all. Okay.
What is a mythical unicorn team? Best damn thing ever.
Best damn thing ever. Thank you. Yeah, I was like, most epic. There's no
awesomeness.
words. Yeah.
Okay, next. Who are some of the well-known unicorn teams, or maybe naming the brands that you love that have used unicorn teams in business or entrepreneurship?
I think Amy Porterfield has really got that. If you listen to her her podcast, she talks about the vulnerability of all that type of stuff, and I really applaud her for that, because unicorn team isn't a forever thing. It's a thing in the moment that helps the future. So
my answer is Rachel Rogers.
Hey.
I love her and her team. Let's go. Okay. Final question, lightning round. What are common mistakes visionizers, aka CEOs, make when they're building their team?
You become the worst villain in the room. That's the problem.
I like that. I was going to say either they delegate too much or they're too much of a control freak.
That's basically the villainous part of you, that you become the villain instead of the hero of your own story.
Amazing. Well, thank you for watching this video all the way through. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, check out the full playlist for more, and we'll see you in the next video.